Hello, I'm Ann Thompson from Tanuki Handcrafts here today with a flip through of my completed copy of Johanna Basford's World of Flowers, and the audio is no longer synced with the video because I've had to re-record the audio. I had a little audio trouble today. So I started this book in July of 2021, July 11th, and I finished it June 7th, 2025. For all my pages, I have, for art supplies, Derwent Inktense pencils, Prismacolors, Koh-i-Noor tricolor pencils, Gelatos, Staedtler coloring pencils, the triangle barrel coloring pencils, the Staedtler watercolor pencils, Sioux color markers, brush pens, which I no longer have, or they're in storage, and distress oxides, also which are either in storage or I no longer have. So overall, did I mention this first book I've completed? I had an ambitious project planned like 2 years ago to finish it that year, and then things just didn't work out. So I just steadily worked on it, and I can see as I flip through it for making this video, I can see where I've learned new skills. For example, on this page, I didn't even try to add the glass highlights. Some are a little more flat. This one is Sioux color page markers. I used diamond glaze on a handful of the glass objects. I also have Sakura jelly roll markers for glitteriness. And I do have Posca paint pens as well. But as I started to say, as I'm flipping through particularly the older pages, what I'm noticing is that's basically what I would consider my base layer now. Here's a pair of pages I wasn't very happy with. I should also mention at this point that the book, which is glue bound, has pretty much fallen apart, and so the pages, I'm sure, are no longer in the order they ever were when the book was new, and that's because it's dropped. I've tipped the book over and pages have fallen out or what have you. I also, as I'm flipping through this, I have very few pages where I did backgrounds. I'm still very confident about my backgrounds, including that page we just saw, which I'm not at all happy with that page. Some pages have blurps, where I smudged something or had something on my hand and smudged it. I do think the koi, that page is all right. I think the koi in particular. The pheasant on the other side, I'm not terribly happy with. Smudgy background, not terribly happy about that. I do like the dark background on the other page, the dark blue background. That looks kind of nice. This page I would actually say is closer to done. I'm looking at this one now. It doesn't even look like I finished it. Again, it's a base layer, I would say. I think some of the coloring is a little better than the others, particularly on this spread. The farthest one on the right looks done. The other look like they need work. That one I would say is pretty done, but the page opposite could use some work. I do like the color schemes of that page. I'm not a fan of wallpaper pages, but that one's not too bad. That one's okay. Now that I'm looking at them on camera rather than flipping through, I still don't like that page. I think that's a double page spread. I don't know what happened to the other page. Again, they're out of order. I think I totally lost my train of thought there. Some bugs. I think the right side bug is okay. The left side I think is a little better. Pardon me. Yeah, I have mixed feels about this. I'm happy that I finished it. I do feel that there are a lot of pages I could go back. I think the pages with the horrible smudges on them, I should try to do something with the background. Like I said, looking at it now, they're not as bad as when I'm looking at my book and bemoaning how the pages have fallen out. But I do think many of the pages are only at the first and maybe the second layer. I think they need more contrast added, more darks, more lights. That one's not too bad on the right-hand side. These two pages, although on camera the skull doesn't look too bad, I really just don't like these two pages. That was an early background experiment. Just didn't work. I accidentally burnished the pencil on the left-hand page. The end page I kind of like, and then, man, I put this off for a long time, these last two pages, and this is the page I finished on June 6th or 7th, whatever I said at the beginning. I'm pretty happy with that. I think I put detail where I wanted the eye to go, and I put less detail, or I darkened up like the areas around the edges so that it draws your eyes into the center. I think I'm partially successful with that, but I do think adding the detailed coloring helped a lot. I think this page could do with some of that, darkening the edges to bring the focus into the center. I do think the little house on the bottom right corner turned out quite well. And it took so long to do those pages. They're so very detailed. Particularly fond of the stones on that stone wall. I think the inside covers in the back is better than the front, which I'm pointing there. I think that's cute, could use some work. And then the front and back covers were Pitt brush pens. So thank you for spending some time with me today. What I will be doing next is looking for the next book that I've colored the most pages in. It's probably a Millie Marotta book, and I think the birds one, that's the one I've done the most pages on. But that will be the next book that I choose to finish. And I know the videos have been quite sporadic. They're also, along with recent changes to my blog, JackieHandcrafts.com, the posts are going to be a little bit of everything. Some of my art, some of my crafts. I'm not selling anything right now. I'm not side hustling. I'm not monetizing my anything. And so I am making stuff because I like it. It's what brings me joy. So that's reflected on my blog. It's reflected here on my YouTube channel. I hope you'll stick around for this journey and see whatever crazy scheme I work on next. Thank you for your time today, and have a great day. Take care. Bye for now.